Good morning, Wellspring. Good morning, Zoomers. Good morning for those people who will tune into us at a later time and date and or place. My name is Judy Bethman, and I'm a part of your Sunday, July 20th, 2025 service team. We have, as Shirley says, a few opportunities to express to you. Early Bird still meets Sunday mornings at 9:30 via Zoom. The link is in the weekly email or on the website. Our speaker for today is the lovely Reverend Vickie, and next week it'll be our dear Dr. Edward. The Thursday evening group continues to meet at 7 o'clock here in the social hall or on Zoom. Get the coordinates from Cleona or Edward. Our Teresa Tudori will be featured on the KRWG Music Spotlight this July 26th at 10 p.m. So if you can, tune in to see what she says and or plays. And if you ever have announcement, Doug, that you want to put on a slide, I would be happy to do that too. Okay. Our prayer team remains ready to serve and support you. You may submit a prayer request via our webpage or give it to Edward. Our prayer team meets virtually on Tuesdays afternoons at 4:15 to pray with you. Please consider sitting in your quiet space during that time. We know we are one in spirit, and the energy of prayer knows no limits. As we let the vibrations of this lovely tone wash over us, let's take a deep breath in and release. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in and release. Because we are all vibrations. Everything in this world vibrates. Spirit, this bowl, this community, the plants around us. Our whole universe is one big vibration. And today we call in the vibrational aspect of spirit to come into our hearts as we release the cares of this past week and go into the challenges of the upcoming week. We know that we are one in spirit, and we have the assurance, the blessed assurance, that we are connected and are one with God. And so it is. All right. If you are able, please stand and let's sing our song of joy. Now, last week we were a little puny. Okay? So we were doing good until, and the world will be a better place, and the world. Okay, so sing that out strong. I think you guys can do that.
Maybe we could lower our voices. Yeah, right.
And the world will be.
Why?
So they can hear us.
Oh, turn it around.
Yes. Do we want to be heard?
Yes!
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Okay, let us now read our vision, mission, and affirmation. Our vision: to elevate spiritual consciousness in our world. Our vision: to support individual spiritual quests through celebration, study, counsel, loving fellowship, and service. Our affirmation: with gratitude, I honor the freedom and power of spirit within me. I release any limitations and rise into my full expression of truth and love. The divine presence within guides me to live boldly, joyfully, and purposefully. And it gives me great pleasure to present Doug Adams.
Welcome back, Doug. Thanks. Yeah, let's do that. This one, I think. I heard this song on the radio, and I thought, that's Ringo Starr singing. And I'm always, my radar is always out looking for, new songs for in here. And I was listening to it. I thought that sounds like it could work. And so I listened. I found it later. I sought it out and found it. And sure enough, this is a song he put out an album. Ringo Starr did last year, and it has a bunch of really great uplifting songs on it. This one is called "Look Up." He didn't write this, but he's the one who made me find out about it. It's a long way down, and there's no bottom. You had the blues, but you forgot 'em. Look up. On the midnight hour, look up. The love is a higher power. Keep your eyes upon the skies. Don't look down on the shadow town. Look up. Like every storm, the rain won't last. The future never comes and the past is past. Look up. Roll away the stone. Look up. When you're all alone, way above your head where the music plays, a lighting shining through all your days, a burning fire leading through the haze. Look up, look up. No matter your place in the human race, there is mercy and there is grace. Look up. Above the clouds, look up. Above the crowds, above your head where the music plays, the light that shines in your darkest days, the fire that's burning and leading through the haze. Look up, look up. Live to fight another day. Good things are gonna come your way. Live to love another day. Good things are gonna come your way. Thank you, Ringo.
So who wrote it, do you know?
It was written by Daniel Daniel Tashian and Joseph Henry Burnett III. I wonder if that's T-Bone Burnett. I don't know, but a famous producer.
New thought.
Great song.
New thought.
And that album, which might be called Look Up. Anyway, it's Ringo Starr's album. Has a lot of really I'll be exploring the other songs too.
Good. We look forward to that, don't we? Thank you so much. Well, normally I don't do this, but I'm giving you the Bethman quiz of the 3 criteria that science of mind people have for religious science. Criteria number 1 is, it is all,
Love. It's all God.
it's all God or spirit. Number 2, the answer is
Love. It's all God.
love. Number 3,
Change your thinking, change your life.
okay. Next time I'm up here, I might ask you that again because it's not that hard. I've been preaching on that for, the last decade or so, right?
The teacher in you can't help
I can't help myself. Okay. So, Vickie's title is on Change Your Thinking, Bethman's criteria number 3. And the reading this morning is going to be from what we call the textbook, The Science of Mind, by Ernest Holmes. And it's on page 142, and it's called The Atmosphere of Our Thinking. We are all immersed in the atmosphere of our own thinking, which is the direct result of all we've ever said, thought, or done. This decides what is to take place in our lives. Thought attracts what is like itself and repels what is unlike. We are drawn towards those things which we mentally image. Most of our inner processes of our thought have been unconscious. But when we understand the law, we learn to consciously embody what we wish and think of this only, and then we are drawn silently toward it. The emphasis on true mental healing is insistently on God, the one mind, the one soul, the one being, ever present and ever available, and on man's ability and right to make himself receptive to this healing presence, a realization of the essential divinity of our own nature, and that truth, that no evil can live in this presence. We must unify ourselves with the great whole. The man who dares to fling his thought out into the universal intelligence with the assurance of one who realizes his divine nature and its relations to the universe, and dares to claim all there is, will find an ever-creative good at hand to aid him. God will honor his request. To the soul that knows its own divinity, all else must gravitate. Let us then enlarge our thought processes and dare to think in universal terms. Let us dare to believe that every constructive word is invincible. And so it is. So now it's my great pleasure to present to you our beloved Reverend Vickie.
Judy's the best.
I said, Judy's the best. The anticipation.
Well, I'm going to do something that hasn't been done in a really, really long time. Sam used to do a segment called Kids Stuff. So as a segue into my talk, I'm going to read a book. It's called Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. Alexander says, I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair. And when I got out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And at breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a junior undercover agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. And in the carpool, Mrs. Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. And I said, if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to get car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And I could tell because Paul and I skipped a page. And at school, Mrs. Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the invisible castle. At singing time, she said I sang too loud. At counting time, she said I left out 16. Well, who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Moya was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. Well, I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, ice cream part falls off the cone and lands in Australia. And there were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey bar with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on the top. Guess whose mother forgot to put in dessert? It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. That's what it was, because after school, my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'll be in Australia. And on the way downstairs, the elevator door closed on my foot while we were waiting for my mom to get the car, and Anthony made me fall where there was mud, and then I started crying because of the mud, and Nick said I was a crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for calling me crybaby, my mom came back with the car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I'm having a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose the white ones with the blue stripes. Nick chose red ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said, we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. And then we picked up my dad at his office. He said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful as I could be, except for my elbow. He also said, don't fool around with his phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And then there were lima beans for dinner, and I hate lima beans. And there was kissing on TV, and I hate kissing. My bath was too hot. I got soap in my eyes. My marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. And when I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow that he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not me. No, it has been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And my mom says, some days are just like that, even in Australia. So poor Alexander. He could have changed his thinking and changed his life. So that's the name of my talk. And change your thinking, change your life. Is that sort of like changing your mind? But what is the mind? Well, let's look at that. The universal mind is everywhere, and there's no exception to this everywhereness. There is but one mind. It is omnipresent. And the true nature of mind is the God power within us, and it is all there is. Everything, visible and invisible, is but a manifestation of this one mind, the result of its creative action and the becoming of that which it creates. All is spirit, spirit is mind, and mind is one. There's no separation between God and you, except to the degree that you think you are separate. And God does for us what God does through us. It is done to us as we believe. So, as Henry Ford says, if you think you can or if you think you can't, you're right. So, each of us controls our own good and may transform our life into the experience of happiness, health, and prosperity. And in the Basic Ideas book, it says, my thought is in control of my experience, and I can direct my thinking. Well, that might be easier said than done. So, some practical ways, perhaps, to change your thinking. Number one thing is to show up. You have to be present. And to find an anchor, something to believe in. And ask why. Why is this feeling I'm having about the decision I made? Well, all decisions have consequences. So it's often good to step out of our comfort zone. It's that old saying about what insanity is, doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So get out of your comfort zone, what is familiar to you, and look at things from a different view, and slow down. Take time to be present and be aware of the universe giving us messages. And eliminate excuses. There's no excuse for not changing your thinking or changing your life. And then that helps you create solutions to the situation that maybe you're not comfortable with or that you don't like. So our thoughts are in control of our experiences. We hear this all the time. Thoughts are things. Thought precedes form. We often will say, well, I'll believe it when I see it. But in fact, we will see it when we believe it, because we come up with the idea, and that's what happens with a lot of artists. We have the idea, and then we create. Okay? And we can create our thinking by choosing our thoughts. And we always have that choice. There is a couple of laws that can help with that. The law of substitution. So when your mind can only hold one thought at a time, a positive or negative. And you can substitute a positive thought for a negative thought whenever you choose. And then there is the law of habit. Any thought or action that you repeat over and over and over will eventually become a new habit. So change your thinking, have a new thought, it precedes the form, and do it over and over and over. And pretty soon that becomes your reality. So in the Basic Ideas, there's another little bit of information I'd like to share. I was surprised at how much information came up about change your thinking, change your life. So I guess it must be possible, right? So here on page 31 and 32, it says, to achieve your desired change, you must first understand there is an unlimited supply of all things which surround you. That's prosperity. Know that you have a right to draw on it. Believe in the response which it always gives, and then believingly state your desire and accept the answer. This enables you to get rid of all anxiety about money or supply. And second, whatever you can do objectively must be done enthusiastically and energetically. This is your part in bringing about your desires. When you have declared your good, you must not try to figure out how it is to come. You state the what, and the universe will give you the how it's to be done. That is for the universe mind to decide. And it entirely is capable of doing so. Never question how, just know it does and that it works intelligently. So please remember, recognize the truth that universal abundance surrounds you. Understand and believe in the responsiveness of the one mind. Know your right and ability to speak your word, believingly that the activity of mind as law will manifest the good that you choose. Declare your good and know it is made manifest. Let there be no doubt or worry. Act in every practical way you can. Life is action. So, going back to the thoughts that we create. The thoughts trigger images and pictures and emotions that go with them. And those images and emotions trigger attitudes and actions. And actions have consequences and results that determine what happens to you. So it is a process. To change your thinking, change your life. And changing thoughts isn't just about engaging in positive thinking or following a list of suggested actions. It's about learning how to understand what's going on inside of you, acknowledging emotions, and recognizing the thinking patterns. So you change your thought, now what happens? Because as Judy said in her reading too, everything is energy. So if you change your thinking, that's going to change the energy. And that brings us to the study of neuroscience. We talk about, this is the science of mind. So now we will talk about the science of the mind through neuroscience. And neuroscience offers powerful insights into how the brain processes information and learns, providing techniques to intentionally rewire our thinking patterns and our creativity. And some neuroscience techniques. And neuroscience is used often with folks who have had a stroke and have to relearn how to walk again. You have to rewire your brain and the cells in your bodies on how to do it. So there's a lot going on. It's not just changing your mind and, oh, everything's going to be like a walk on the beach. No, there's a lot that goes on physiologically, energetically. So some techniques that are used in neuroscience is reframing the challenges as opportunities for growth. And how often have we heard that? We don't have problems, we have opportunities, okay? And seeking out constructive feedback. Often that monkey mind is, oh, you're no good, you're not going to be any good, you can't do this. So we have to shift, change our thinking, and come up with more constructive feedback, like, that's the way to do it, way to go, all right. And that's adopting learning oriented approach to problem solving. And a lot of this is done with cognitive restructuring, or they call it neuroplasticity, and that is the brain's ability to rewire itself. So there's a lot going on if you change your thinking, you change your thought. So some types of the cognitive behavioral therapy is, again, reframing unhelpful thoughts and prove yourself wrong. Believe it or not, sometimes your brain lies to you. So you have to be aware of that. And if it doesn't feel right, is it true? And you have to prove those negative predictions wrong to train the brain to see things in a different light. And create a personal mantra, like, way to go, things are going great, I can do this, whatever works for you. And keep building the mental muscle. Just like any new skill, training your brain to think differently takes time. It takes practice, which reminds me of the story of the tourist that's in New York City and is looking at the map and is looking very confused and asks somebody walking by, "Excuse me, do you know how to get to Carnegie Hall?" And he kept right on walking, said, "Practice, practice, practice." So anytime you want to learn something new, change your thinking, change your life, it's going to take practice. It doesn't just magically happen because there's all of these energetically oriented things that are going on as well. So the CBT, or the cognitive behavioral therapy, isn't a quick feel-good treatment. You have to create measurable physical changes in the brain. So it does take time and it takes repetition, like anything. It's between 21 and 28 days, they suggest, to do this over and over and over to actually change the behavior or the outcome. So understanding the principles of neuroplasticity and using neuroscience-based strategies, such as mindful meditation, meditate on it, and then be silent to wait for the universe or spirit to reveal the answer to you. And do thinking exercises, challenge those assumptions. If you're assuming that something is supposed to be some way, really? Is it? And practice, practice, practice. Individuals can start thinking differently and unlock our full creative potential with a lot of different ways that have been suggested. It's also called cortical remapping, and that's reorganizing the neural pathways. You can rewire the brain, and you can and do change when you go through these processes. It's like creating our own personal GPS. It's getting off of the thought trains that are leading us to the wrong destinations. And you have more control over your thoughts than you really think you do. Even though sometimes it may seem like your mind has a mind of its own in which you have no control, yet that is not the truth. You do have control over your thoughts. And when a thought comes to mind, you can observe it and choose whether or not to engage in that thought or release it for a different thought. Eckhart Tolle says in The Power of Now, you have the observer in your mind, and you also have the thinker in your mind. And the thinker mode engages in the dialogue. It converses with the monkey mind. Oh, well, I can't do that. Well, I know I shouldn't have been able to do it. I could possibly, you blah, that chatter. So stop and become the observer and just stand by in a neutral way rather than getting emotionally entangled, and just observe the thought. And Eckhart Tolle goes, "Isn't that interesting?" And then just let it go. So you have the choice to observe or engage. And I know we all know this, but I'm going to remind you that Spirit, the universe, God is on your side and wants only the best for you, wants you to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and fulfilled. So trust that. That's the truth. That's the thought that is true. And your destiny is to experience joy, harmony, love, and the greatest of all the human blessings is peace of mind. So Don't give up on your dreams. I mean, after all, if cauliflower can be a pizza and zucchini can be noodles, you too can be anything that you want. Do you remember hearing the story, the Cherokee legend about the two wolves? The grandfather is talking to the grandson about life. And he says, we have within us two wolves. One wolf is evil. It represents anger, jealousy, all of the negative emotions. And we also have the good wolf that represents love, compassion, joy, happiness, all of the good emotions. And the grand says, grandfather, which wolf wins? And the grandfather says, the one that you feed. So feed the good wolf. Choose good thoughts, and your life will change. So you do always have choice. Like Alexander, you could have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, or you could have a calm, delightful, joyful, wonderfully terrific day. The choice is yours. And so it is. So let's take it to prayer. We know that we do have the choice to change our thinking or change our life. And we give great thanks for knowing that we can choose all that is true and right and good, because the universe supports that. And the universe has everything that we need for our happiness and our overall well-being. So if you're ever having any doubt, or if things aren't seeming to work out right, or you're having struggles, think of them as growth opportunities and know that you can change your thinking, and that will, through all of the physical, neurological rewiring of the brain, it will change your life. And I know that we all choose that which is for our highest best good and for the highest best good of our loved ones. And we know that these positive things are going out into the universe, supporting all of those who are having struggles right now, whether they be natural disasters or personal traumas in their lives. We can be the beacon of light to send love to those who are seemingly not feeling it right now. We give great thanks for this time together, and as we say together, and so it is. Now, if Mr. Doug would like to come up, please, and share his gift of music with us.
Bless this house, O Lord, we pray. Make it safe both night and day. Bless the walls so firm and stout, keeping want and trouble out. Bless the roof and chimney tall. Let God's grace rise over all. Bless the door that it may prove ever open to grace and love. Bless the window shining bright, letting in God's heavenly light. Bless the hearth burning there, with smoke arising like a prayer. And bless the people here within, kind to strangers as to kin. And bless us all that we may be deep in fellowship with thee. And bless us all that we may be deep in fellowship with thee.
Well, that put us back many years. I think I first heard that when Tennessee Ernie Ford sang that over the radio. Yeah. Thank you so much, Doug. You are such a special gift in our presence.
For me, it was Mahalia Jackson.
Mahalia Jackson. Cool, cool. And, you know, Vickie, you were on a time frame, but the whole idea of the neuroplasticity of the brain has to change every cell in your body. And that is tough. And that's why the 21 day, I think that's a minimum of 21 days. So, yeah, wow. What a great morning. Thank you all. Okay, we would like to take time now for our offering. Cleona, do you want to pass the basket, please? As we acknowledge these and receive our virtual and in-person gifts, we give great thanks for the offerings already given and those we will be receiving, because we know that giving and receiving are both part of the one flow. We affirm that we are also part of that flow. We bless these gifts and know that they are multiplied throughout our community. And so it is. Thank you, Cleona. Okay, there are a number of folks who have contributed to the production of this service, and we are grateful for their service. We're grateful for your participation in this service, because we're all part of that one flow. It's great. We thank you for joining us today in Zoomland and here in the sanctuary, and those who might click on the website just to see what we're all about. stay around in the Zoom for a meeting if you want to talk to each other, and there's goodies in the social hall. All right. Please stand if you are able and read with me the benediction, followed by a congregational song. Spirit in the midst of us is mighty. Joy, peace, and eternal life are our true nature and flow through us into the world, and so it is.